Australians are obsessed with sport. Man against the elements, team against team, machine against machine. But what happens when critical mass is met? NRL. Ben Ross shatters a disc in his neck, a life-threatening injury that leaves his career in the balance. Motocross. Cade Clason risks radical synthetic ACL replacement to chase the big money in America. And AFL's Liam Anthony keeps the post-op team entertained. This is the human face of professional sports injury. This is damage control. Australian rules, with the impacts that bring the crowd to life, also come the moments of greatest damage. Personal protection is secondary, ball possession is everything. At 21, North Melbourne's Liam Anthony was a late starter. His 2 seasons to date have been marred by injury. 2010 is the year he has to make his mark.
He's got unique football nous. Very difficult to coach the ability that he has.
But even great football instinct cannot stop damage when it hits from behind, as Liam Anthony is about to find out.
For Liam Anthony. Ball's hurt Anthony.
Oh dear. Oh yeah, dislocated shoulder.
The shoulder is one of the most complex joints in the human body. It also makes it the least stable. Damage could be minor, a quick pop straight back in, or major, damaged bone, torn cartilage, ligaments and muscle.
Man must be in absolute agony at the moment.
As I lay there and like the medical staff came out, I knew something wasn't right.
And you got a feel for this young man, Liam Anthony.
With Liam warm and full of adrenaline, Dr. Con Metropolis can pop it back in at the ground or do it under anaesthetic later.
Gordo, I need you.
Dr. Con's not one to wait around.
Okay, I need you sitting just here.
Liam's in agony.
Just down. Gordo behind you.
Dr. Con will reduce the dislocation by popping the shoulder back into place.
Slide forward a little bit. And just relaxing completely. Just underneath him. Okay, I need you to relax completely. Totally relax. That's it.
SuperCross. Motorcycle racing made deliberately spectacular. It's high risk and high flying, all jammed into a stadium-sized track. Out there is a young man chasing $1 million dream.
G'day, how you going? Sign this one. I'm Cade Clason, and I've been racing professional for the past 4 years. It's a dangerous sport, but I guess that's why we love it. How you going?
He has already been national champion 4 times, Victorian state champion 8 times. But the big money is in America.
7 to 10 million a year. That's top level of the sport, so you really got to be on top of your game.
All Cade has to do is keep his body together. But that's not easy in Supercross.
Who's going to come into the first turn first? Oh, big crash! That'll rider go down, and 3 or 4 riders go down as we try to pick him up.
Cade Clason made it just as far as the first corner. He fell awkwardly, his left leg braced, and then took the full force of man and machine. His anterior cruciate ligament, the knee's main stabilizer, snapped.
You know, I felt the pop in my knee, and I've broken some bones in my time, and I definitely think, snapping the ACL in my knee was probably the most painful.
Despite the pain, he will ride on. 2 weeks later, Cade's back at the track. Unlike most athletes, a bike rider can still compete with cruciate damage. Surgery can wait, at least until the end of the season. He will wear a brace, but it is a gamble.
The ACL is completely gone. I can end up doing medial, which is the inside ligament of the knee, which will totally ruin my knee.
At just 20 years of age, he's upped the stakes. 1 season gambled against a whole career.
Got to try and finish off the year strong. Basically, that's why I'm back riding on the bike with a bad knee. I'm a little bit scared about doing that. Hope nothing bad happens.
And in Cade Mosick's world, something bad could cost him millions. Rugby League. Sometimes the best way forward is to simply crash through, straight and hard. It's what sets the big men apart. At 30 kilometres an hour, no fear, no favour. And one of these big men is the Sharks' Ben Ross. He's one of Rugby League's highest paid players, paid to batter his body week in, week out. And neither he nor the fans would have it any other way. In the very first round of 2009, Ben Ross on defence is caught underneath the ball carrier.
And they've just come down awkwardly on Ben Ross.
It's just simple bad luck. Neck accidents are more common away from the football field than on it. A shattered disc compresses his spinal cord.
Ben Ross in a bad way.
His head and neck was pushed down as those players fell onto him awkwardly.
Our thoughts with Ben at this time.
At this point, the man who lives for his rugby league has no idea whether he'll even walk, let alone play the game again.
I was at the game when Ben got injured. I saw him go down and then he was stretchered off, and I thought, this is pretty serious.
In the tackle, I remember the cracks. That sort of scared me, and then I didn't know what was going on, and our trainer, Trent Elkin, just said to take him completely still, and that's when I think panic set in.
He was a whisker off being quadriplegic. I got him to lift his head about 3 to 4 centimetres off the bed, and immediately he did that, he started getting pain in the arms and legs.
In hospital, scans reveal the tackle destroyed a disc in Ben's neck. His spine will need to be rebuilt because being able to walk isn't the goal. Ben Ross wants to play again. Dr. Parkinson will go in via Ben's throat and remove the damaged disc. It's called an anterior cervical discectomy. A bone graft will replace the disc and a titanium plate will hold everything in place.
When people say, give it away, you're never going to come back, I really just want to prove them wrong.
Ben Ross is in a fight for his future, but he has no idea how tough that fight's going to be.
Gordo, I need you. Nice and relaxed.
Liam Anthony popped his shoulder. Now, time to put it back in.
Okay. Good boy.
Just ready to go?
Nah, mate, have a lie down. Back. That's it for the day, my friend.
The rotation and push has put Liam's shoulder back where it belongs, but the possibility of internal damage means for today it's game over. Bad news. The shoulder is the most flexible joint in the body. It also means it's the most unstable.
Just yell when she draws blood.
Right now, Liam's body is cooling and the joint is seizing up. Soon, he'll start to feel the pain from the torn cartilage. Dr. Con's done all he can do in a dressing room. A scan will show the full damage.
Next surgery, when would that be probably?
Yesterday. We'll see the surgeon and then we'll get it done during the week. Which probably doesn't really matter too much because you won't play for 3 months if that's the case, which takes us to the end of the year.
3 months off, that's a big if to pay for one leap at the ball.
Okay, mate. Hasn't affected your appetite.
The next day it's down to this, a 20-minute MRI scan.
Here we go.
And then it's the surgeon's call on Liam's career. If Dr. Con's right, and it is surgery, that'll be it for the season.
time for the finals. The big boys and the little lights are coming out to play.
Rising star Cade Clason gears up for the 250cc Supercross final. Tonight he's gambling everything. Last time he tore his knee ligament on the very first turn. One spill could cost him his career.
Blast out of the gate. Well, who's going to get the judge?
Once again, on the very first turn, disaster.
Down inside. Ryder's gone down. Wow. Cade Clason is one of those riders. Lewis Woods after getting third. That's Clason. Cade Clason.
Cade's last to regain his feet.
Yeah, went into the first turn, 4 riders hit me up the back and yeah, smashed my head on the handlebars and I went down. In the air, I was like, oh, this one's gonna hurt.
Tonight he's lucky. Despite the crash, his knee held up, but he can't take the risk anymore. Now there's no option but career-saving surgery.
I hate hospitals, but I should be right. Just looking forward to having it all done and getting out of here.
Even with surgery, there's a catch. The window between seasons, 3 months. Recovery from surgery, 6 months. Normally, knee reconstructions replace the ligament with a tendon taken from your own hamstring. But Cade's doctors have suggested a radical alternative. It's known as LARS, the Ligament Augmentation Reconstruction System. In other words, an artificial ligament. Instead of 6 months rehab, they'll have him back in just 6 weeks.
The downside is that it's a foreign body going inside the knee, and it's always the risk of putting something foreign into the joint. What's it going to do in the long term? Is it going to fall apart inside the knee? How strong is it going to be in the future?
It's new and it's controversial. But for Cade, there's no other choice. It's LARS or give up on the dream.
Don't you worry. See you later.
Supercross rider Cade Clason's career is in the hands of his medical team, orthopaedic surgeon Hayden Morris and his sports physician Greg Harris. They're using the controversial LARS technique, replacing Cade's torn knee ligament with an artificial one made from industrial strength polyester fibre.
But with an AFL footballer, for example, I really would be pretty nervous about putting a LARS ligament in them because it's more of a high demand sport for their knee in many ways.
For Cade, the upside far outweighs the risks. Doctors expect Cade will be back on his bike in 6 weeks, instead of the usual 6 months.
We're not waiting for recovery of where we've taken a graft from, because with the synthetic graft it's already as strong as it's going to be. It's really just a matter of him recovering from the surgery itself.
So the countdown begins. 6 weeks to heal, 6 weeks to practice, and Cade's season is back on again. If he can stand the pain of rehab.
How you doing there, sore?
North Melbourne's Liam Anthony missed most of season 09 due to injury. 2010 just took a turn for the worse. His dislocated shoulder was popped back in at the game. Now it's time to assess the damage with surgeon Peter Wilson. If it's minor, Liam will play in weeks. If it's surgery, that's another season gone.
Now you've been a bit unlucky, Liam.
Yeah, no, not too good.
In Liam's shoulder, his upper arm popped forward. The damage done to the main bone, the humerus, as well as damage to the cartilage and the ligaments, is what will determine his fate.
This is bony here, and it looks a little bit like a golf tee. You can see it there.
Yep.
And the ball sitting on top of that. So when it comes out, it sort of chips the front off that socket there.
Alright.
Now, what we need to do is to go back in there and get that back onto here, so you've got the stability. If we just said, oh, okay, just get over this rehab and see how you go, the chances of this coming out again are pretty much 100%.
So, a full shoulder reconstruction. But there is a slight chance that Liam will play before the end of the season. Now it all depends on Dr. Peter Wilson. Liam's damage is so extensive that surgery is done via an open repair. The incision is made in the armpit. 3 tiny dissolvable anchors will be attached to the shoulder. They will hold the torn cartilage and ligaments back in place. After an hour of cutting, drilling and stitching, Liam's shoulder will be repaired. Rehab begins from this moment. But Liam's having trouble coming out of the anaesthetic.
Give me some love.
Ben Ross injured his neck so badly, they feared he might not walk again.
Ben Ross in a bad way.
Surgeons went in through his throat to rebuild his spine. But the burning question, has it worked? Ben Ross is not one to give up on himself, but his club did, and they parted ways.
You talk about financial status and like earning money capacity and stuff. I don't get paid at the moment, and that's probably the hard pressure.
Rival club South Sydney figure he was a risk, but worth it. They'll only start paying him when he's declared fully healed and match fit. Once one of the highest paid men in league, his livelihood is now on the line.
But it's getting to the stage where if I'm not playing footy, then I've got to start looking like I've got to look at other sources of revenue.
Good work, keep going.
To pay the bills, he's gone back to personal training.
1, elbow to knee.
Personal training brings in the money that my wife and I need to survive.
Come.
I've got to bring in an income too, and this allows me to do that.
Keep going. Faster, Cade, faster.
We've signed him on subject to the outcome of today, really.
Today, in a visit to neurosurgeon Dr. Richard Parkinson, both Ben and his new club South Sydney will find out if he can ever play again.
It's not great news, and let me show you what I mean.
3 words, not great news. Liam Anthony, post-op, waking up from anaesthetic after hour-long surgery.
How you going, Liam? You comfortable?
You? You? I'll tell you what.
What?
There's a big fella.
There you go, bit of oxygen to breathe. So you comfortable?
There's a Clason.
Teflon and just everything
Did you hear that?
Pardon? I'm your anaesthetist.
Oh shit. Sorry, bro.
Well done. You've done well.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
That's all right.
Give me some love.
Time for Liam to sleep off the effects. He won't remember any of this. Ben Ross is a month out from the start of a new season. After a year of rehab, he feels he's ready.
The thing I love about looking after rugby league players is they're amongst the most motivated individuals you could ever meet. They are true, committed athletes.
This is crunch day for Ben. Dr. Parkinson will assess just how successful the surgery has been in strengthening Ben's spine.
Now this is what the scan looks like. So the vertebrae above is this block running from here across to here, and here it's totally healed in, okay? At the bottom, however, it's partially healed in. The thing I'm just a little concerned about is that it just hasn't quite created the bony bridge here that it has here. And as soon as it heals in as well as that, I think you'll be right for full contact, and I think that's going to take about 4 weeks. And I know it's disappointing, but it's going to happen. Okay? I can't make your bones heal any quicker.
So Ben Ross wants to go back to the game that almost crippled him. Medically, he's nearly there. But there's one more problem. His wife, Renee.
He wants to get back out on the field, but, you know...
Cade Clason, just 4 weeks after surgery, is able to cycle to his appointment with sports physician Greg Harris.
Yeah, hopefully I can get the all clear today and get out there. Yeah.
How is it?
Good. Yeah? Yeah, really good. Yeah, actually, yeah. Much pain? No clicking? No. Just a bit of pain. Yeah. That's cool.
The pressure is now on. Today's checkup is make or break.
Yeah. Cade's only the second Lars ligament knee that I've had to deal with. It's still going to be a bit interesting to see where this goes. Yeah. But, you know, from where it is now, it's right where we want it. Yep.
Right where we want it. The reassurance every athlete wants from a doctor after damage control. And just 6 weeks later, as promised, Cade Clason can test both his knee and a new bike. Just 2 weeks after his shoulder reconstruction, and Liam's ready to begin training, pending the okay from Dr. Con.
It's magnificent. Can I just open that up just a touch?
They're joined by Peter Turk. He'll be monitoring Liam's strength and conditioning for the next 3 months.
What have you been eating? What haven't you been eating?
For Liam, it's look on and pedal on.
Lost a bit of fitness and trying to go as hard as I could when I was at peak fitness isn't the best idea, I don't think.
If he wants back in by the end of the season, he'll have to work harder than everyone else in the squad. And that's exactly what he intends to do.
I am my brother's keeper.